It's a Monday, we're all tired. What better solution is there to watch some professional StarCraft 2? My name is Al, and today I have a absolute amazing match for you. In the top right corner, our yellow Zerg player from Finland, we have Serral. And in the opposite corner, our purple Terran player from South Korea, it is Maru. Serral versus Maru on the map Data C, which I believe to be a very good macro map. So we'll see what these two do against each other. I think this map has made probably some of the better games since the new map pool was released, because you can quite easily get a decent amount of bases for both players, and it's still quite dynamic. It's quite a nice map. I do tend to like seeing matches on this. Also, you've got some interesting kind of things that happen in the middle of the map with these types of choke points and the rocks. So yeah, I think it's quite a good one. In terms of attacking in for most players, it's quite hard to get into the third, and this is also not the biggest for the fourth base protection, but once you go into fifth bases, then obviously the map really opens up and things get a little bit more exciting. Okay, so let's have a look at these players. We're looking at number 1 versus number 2 in the world. And so far, we see a double barracks opening for Maru. So maybe a little bit of aggression early on for him. Serral, he has gone hatch, gas, pool. So nothing too much out of the ordinary for him. But yeah, we'll see how these two players play against us. They are far and away the best in their respective races. And, you know, these are two that a lot of people are calling, okay, well, one of these two is the greatest of all time. Maybe you'd include Rogue in there as a third. Rogue has been quite quiet lately. I actually need to find some replays. I think I got a couple of Rogue replays, so keep your eye on that. But yeah, back to this game. So, yeah, these two, very good players, and we'll see how they interact with each other. Now, for both of these players, Zerg versus Terran, or Terran versus Zerg, if you're Maru, is considered to be their best matchups. Quite a lot. I mean, maybe not Maru. I mean, Maru, you can talk about his Terran versus Terran as well, which is insane. He's the best in the world by far. But they're very good in this matchup, and a little bit of scouting getting done. The Ling gets in. Oh, there's no depot here. Interesting. He's just going to scout around. He's going to see it. That is a nice scout. He sees Stimpack on the way. Can give him a nice idea. Sees the double gas, the saturation. Very good scout there by Serral. That's actually really great to see that. Now he knows exactly how many drones he can make. He's gone up to his third. I think he's going to feel, yeah, quite comfortable with his position at this point. Ling speed on the way. We do see the factory and the third command center also coming up. So we'll see how this one plays out. But at this stage, Serral, he's gotten all the scouting that he needs. There is no Reaper, right? Yeah, Maru went without a Reaper, so for him, he doesn't even know if Serral's actually spawned on his side of the base. Some of the Terrans, and I think it's a lot of the Korean Terrans as well, they just love skipping their scouting completely. And they just kind of do their thing, and then they'll eventually scout when they get around to it with, you know, drops or banshees or stuff like that. It's actually quite insane. But I guess Maru has been studying Serral, and he knows that Serral is not the biggest cheeser in the world. He is quite content to go into that macro game. And I guess the reason for that is that because that's where Serral is really strong. That macro game, that longer game, is where he excels at. One of the places. It's hard to talk about Serral with like just one thing. There's a lot that has to be right for him to be considered the best in the world. Baneling Nest on the way. Combat shields as well. Shields. Double medevac, so we're going to see a bunch of Marines moving across the map. They're going to wait for the medevacs before they actually start getting too aggressive. But yeah, I mean, Serral, obviously, trying to beat Serral with something like cheese is very hard. He just doesn't die to early cheese timings or stuff like that. He's super strong. So Maru is capable of going the distance in this matchup. I mean, if you look at him playing against guys like Maru, how can he play against himself? Like Reyna and Dark. He knows this matchup very well. Serral's another monster. So we see a bunch of the queens here at the front. They're going to be ready to get rid of these Marines. Maru does spotted. He's going to rotate around to the other side. At this stage, I think he's just going to try get rid of a little bit of creep. Lair is on the way. Zergling is being annoying. Not going to get too much done there. I would love if it actually gets a workout. Nope, the Marines come to help it out. Okay, Stim onto the creep. There are a couple of banelings, so this should be okay. Yeah, picks up, and they're out of there. Queen's coming in to help. Look at this creep spread. 5 minutes in, almost half the map is covered. Insane creep spread, and it is in all directions. But yeah, while there's a little bit of downtime, considering that Maru's army is just kind of hanging around here, in terms of these two in a head-to-head series, I say that, a couple of Zerglings going for a run-by, running straight into stimmed Marines. Queens are here. Look at the way Serral does this. He's got 11 queens. Yeah, queens, good unit. Maru does pull away. But yeah, in terms of their matchup, they have only actually played 11 series against each other. They don't actually compete against each other all that often. There was a long time where people were like, can we please have that matchup? And it just never happened. They've played a little bit more recently. But in terms of that matchup, we see a little bit more creep getting cleared. Yeah, moving across to the other side, avoiding the queens. Yeah, Hydra Den on the way. Interesting. +1/+1 for both players coming up. Well, +1 melee. And +1 carapace, +1 weapons and armor for Maru. Baneling speed also, we do see the armory, so that's going to allow Maru to go straight into his +2. I'll get back to what I was talking about now. Fantastic tank positioning. So this is great because the Marines, yep, they push in here, put some pressure on this base, and the tanks can protect it. He also keeps a whole bunch of Marines at the back just to keep them safe. Queens are starting to help out here. Zerglings moving around. There could be a nice surround coming in here on this army. Yep. Zerglings, banelings coming in. Tanks are going to get rid of. These Marines are going down. And a pretty clean defense there for Serral. He keeps the base alive. I don't think there's been... No workers killed. Second army coming up, so they're just going to work on the creep on this side. Maru's trying his best to keep this creep under control. He actually needs to. Ooh, and now he's pushing on two directions at the same time. Serral knows how to split his army, so ooh, good baneling hits there. Army in the main base though. They should also be cleaned up. Queen targeting the medevac. Medevac's going to fly out. Yeah, so far solid defense there from Serral. Worker counts looking pretty good for both of them. Okay, he's just going to hang that one out there. Let it go. Yeah. Serral not going to get too aggressive yet. He's getting his Hydras out. He's getting their upgrades. Is he going to go in for an infestation pit? We'll have to see on that one. Drilling claws coming up for Maru, so he's moving into some Wither Mine production, producing 3 of those at a time. One of my least favorite units to play against, but they do make for some very juicy explosions. Serral scouts out the 4th base coming up here for Maru, so he knows what's going on there. Pushing in, yeah, they're going to be pushed away. So now the drops need to be careful because Hydras are out. You've got to be careful with your drops because now you need to be avoid the queens as well as the Hydras. If you lose a medevac with everything inside, that is painful. That is a lot of supply that just goes down. Ooh. Serral's trying to catch this army on both fronts. Ooh, this is... Oh, and he gets the full one. This army does get away. The Hydras happen to be at the bottom. A couple of Marines were lost. That was a very nice catch there by Serral. Absolutely awesome. Not too many Marauders in this army. Maru's going quite heavy with the Marines, although there is a Wither Mine drop coming up. Yeah. Let's see if this gets any damage done. Hive is on the way. Well, the Hydras are going to catch this mid-flight. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Be careful. Okay, there comes the Widow Mines. Let's see if they get anything. One does get lost. 12 workers. That was a big hit here. Oof. I think, yeah, just some good targeting there by Maru. That was pretty unlucky. Serral was trying his best. And he almost caught that medevac before it could unload any. Ooh, that's not okay. That has actually put Maru ahead in the worker count. That was a very good Widow Mine hit there. But that's the thing about Widow Mines. Very hard to play against. And it takes one wrong move. I mean, Serral doesn't make many mistakes, but you could say that that was considered to be a mistake. You see the army pushing in. Serral finally ready to start getting a little bit aggressive. He is up in supply. He has got his worker count ahead of Maru again. See the +3 coming up here. Upgrades looking good. 2-2 for both of them. +3 obviously on the way for Maru. Serral is, yeah, he's going for his +1 for the ranged units. He is going into a lurker den, so he's making that transition into lurker. He will be getting Vipers to go along with it, probably a couple of infestors. And that is the army that becomes so hard to control. At the same time, he is taking all of the bases. Serral just trying to cover the entire map. Ghosts coming out slowly, Cloak on the way. We're going to see the late game armies against each other. We'll see these two at their best. Big Widow Mine hits again. Oh, I know your pain. And again. Ooh, those are some big hits. Okay, at the same time, army pushing in here. And I mean, the Zerglings, they do nothing against Widow Mines. Okay, this is a nice little push here from Serral. He's going to pull out of tank range. He does not want to engage where those tanks are able to hit him. Couple of Vipers on the way. Adrenal Glands, +3 Carapace. I actually think Serral forgot about the +3 for a little bit. That's why it's so delayed. That being said, has Maru not... Oh, Maru forgot +3 armor. Or he might have clicked it and it didn't click. Oh no. I wonder if he's going to realize that. That's bad. You need your +3. Serral pushing in here down to the south again. Just poking and prodding, seeing what he can get done. He's waiting for those lurkers ideally, but he needs the upgrades first. Those lurkers, yeah, they're not as great without their upgrades. A couple of Hellbats on the way. That's interesting. That is a nice way for Maru to deal with these Zerglings and the Banelings. Obviously, Hellbats only cost minerals, so if the Banelings are running into them and they can tank quite a lot of shots, that means your Marines are still able to deal the damage that they need to deal. +3 still hasn't started. We see, ooh, Blue Flame. Yeah, so he's definitely going to be mixing in a lot of his Hellbats into this army. The Hellbats are very great, especially when the Zerg player does go for those. Ooh, big push coming in here. Serral is swarming this Terran force. Ooh, okay, you don't want to fight into the planetary. Decent damage done there. A lot of army lost, but a lot of army for the Terran as well. Ooh, a couple of Zerglings are getting through here. Yeah, 6 workers killed, not too bad. So this is what Serral's going to do. He's going to now swarm it. And just rinse and repeat that attack. Trying to get into both players. Trying to slow that Terran expansion down. He has got the larger economy with more workers. Obviously he's on 94 workers. So he's quite happy to just keep sending in a ton of units. Send in the swarm. And eventually try to bleed out the Terran player. Nice little run by coming in here. Oh, this Hellbat. What a fantastic position. It does get killed by a tank, but that is some very good SimCity. These are things that we don't always talk about, but this little space here makes it so hard for the Zerg player to get into. And as we see there, one Hellbat stopped what could have been a lot of damage from those Zerglings. Ooh. Infestor upgrades there, the energy upgrade as well as neural parasite. I would say pathogen glands, I think is the name of the upgrade. I think. Alright, this army pushing in, ghosts are cloaking. There are liberators. The swarm is coming in once again. Maru's supply is dropping drastically. And once again, Serral just pulls out and rinses. This base went down along with 18 workers. Very, very good there. 128 Zerglings on the way. Ooh, we do see nukes. Everyone loves nukes. Finally, +3 got started. Yeah, you must have noticed that. Oof. It's a little bit of a mistake, but luckily it's not too far off at the moment. +3 ranged attack on the way, as well as +3 melee attack for Serral. He is going up into the spire, so that is most probably just going to be for some brood lords that he could eventually be getting. Going into that late game army. He knows he can't break Maru as it stands right now, so he is willing to go into that late game. A place where Maru is very strong. Maru likes that very defensive style against the late game Zerg. Here we see the swarm coming in again from 2 different angles. Ghosts are going to run for their lives. Tanks getting some good shots. More damage being dealt here to the bottom base. 11 workers going down. This army is taking a beating. Bunch of snipes go off, getting rid of those hydras. That is 12 workers though. That is nothing to sneeze at. Serral's got a healthy bank, so what do we see? 108 Zerglings once again. Greater Spy is on the way. I'm actually curious now. 475 Zerglings have gone down. 100 Banelings. Only 7 hydras. Nice. And that was to the snipes now. Yeah, so you can see the efficiency. Terran is way more efficient, but that's okay. Zerg is happy with that because he is mining a lot more. I mean, yeah, sure, Terrans have mules, so maybe that's not the most important thing. Yeah, here we see the mules coming in. And it's gonna spike up quite drastically now. 3-8. Anyway. Pushing in once again. Now there are lurkers in this army. There is a liberator. Does get yoinked out of the air. Pushing in aggressively once again. The Banelings are trying to get the ghosts. They're not going to get it. Ghost stay safe. Hydra still dealing damage. But once again, Zerglings get into this mineral line. And that's 11 workers going down once again. Yeah, Serral is losing a lot every time. But he's getting some work done. He's getting rid of that economy, which is very good. But what makes Maru so scary is he's not losing. Oh, that's 2 lurkers going down. That's not ideal. He's not losing his ghosts. And keeping those ghosts alive is vital. Do you see some infestors on the way? Interesting Nidus coming up here. The bunch of lurkers inside. There's no way Maru's going to be able to deal with this. His army is so set in the other side of the map. Does he even know it's coming? Well, he knows now. See the response. Okay, so there is a bit of a movement there. But yeah, lurkers in the main. That's not ideal. And at the same time, once again, we see the swarm coming in. Are there going to be any blinding clouds? Oh, this is so dangerous. This is so much damage going down. At the same time, there is still lurkers in the base. The ghosts are out of position. They're trying to deal with the lurkers. Serral has a very good push in here because there are no ghosts. The ghosts are at home. That is not ideal for Maru. That entire position has been broken. This command center is even flying back. It's just like, nope, I can't deal with that. Oof, fantastic engagement there by Serral, getting the Nidus as a distraction. And yeah, Maru just pulling those ghosts out actually meant that this position was very open. What do we say? Rinse and repeat once again. Nidus gonna come up in the main base. At the same time, this Zergling Baneling army is gathering here. I don't think Maru's got too much left. Look at the supply. There's nothing even in the Nidus worm. He's just using it to draw away attention. And the Baneling Zergling army is pushing through. Those ghosts are running for their lives. This base once again in serious trouble. 12 workers going down again. Oh yes, look at the infestor. Oh, it does get spotted and it does get sniped. I've mentioned this in one of the previous games. Serral loves to do that. He loves to hide an infestor somewhere, then neural parasite a ghost, and EMP the other ghost with the ghost that he neuraled. It's a fantastic move. Very hard to pull off. Ah, another one gets spotted again. Unlucky. But that doesn't matter. Here we go. Once again, Banelings going in. They need to get those ghosts. Once those ghosts fall, I think Serral's... Oh, so yeah, Serral's going to be in a winning position. But this is 88 supply. Oh, that's so much damage. Serral's just been attacking into this position time and time again. The ghosts have been surviving, but it's not enough. The ghosts need meat in order to defend them. And this army is pushing through once again. Baneling's going in. Ghosts are starting to fall. The damage is being dealt. I don't know how much Maru still has left. 25 workers going down. GG is called, and Serral takes an amazing game against Maru. Whew. That was good fun. I hope you enjoyed this one. Yeah, that was a really intense series between these two. Just Serral going in again, and it took him a bunch of times. It took him 20 minutes to break Maru. But yeah, very good game in the end. If you did enjoy this match, please make sure to drop a like rating. If you want to see more StarCraft content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. After 20 minutes of talking, I'm tired now. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one.